All right, beer nerds, we're back with another customer question, and this is the same question I get every spring. Where can I fill my kegs? And I want to send them to your brewery. Or if not, they can do it at home all by themselves. And that's what we're going to talk about today, direct filling. The cheapest way to buy a beer is 50 liters at a time. If you're a brewery owner, you got these lying around. So now we just need a way to get it out of here and into here. Well, what's direct filling? It's the same thing that home brewers have been doing forever with pressurized transfers. You know, they want to get it out of their fermenter and into their serving keg. Well, we want to get it out of a brewery-sized serving keg into something we can bring out on a boat. Pop bottle, a mini keg. We could even do a glass growler. I mean, check out this special adapter, but we'll get into that later. Now, personally, when I go out camping, I'll fill this with an IPA or something, and I'll put maybe a lager in my 5 liter to share, or if I really want to share, 10 liters. So now, how do we do it? You don't even need a kegerator. You don't need any of this business. I'm going to show you how to do it both ways, but let's say you just went out and bought a 50 liter keg. Well, you can just store it down in your basement, whatever you want to do. And then you could fill up 1, 2, 3 pop bottles, store them in the fridge, and drink them and keep rotating them as you go. You could do that with mini kegs, you could do it with a 20 liter, whatever fits in your fridge, right? Whatever's the cheapest for you. I mean, the absolute cheapest would be the pop bottle. So how do we do it? Well, you got your basic Sankey coupling, so you'd have to buy one of those. A brewery, of course, would have these lying around everywhere. And then you would just get these special little adapters. And these turn a Sankey keg into the same functionality as a corny keg or a mini keg. So then we got our Star San. Now the way I mix this is 1.5 milliliters, like a little children's Tylenol thing, to 1 liter. So super easy there. A brewery, you'd probably have a keg full just sitting here if you want to do this commercially. So then you can put that on there, boom, keg's engaged. And then we'll start with a 5 liter keg. So now if you want to clean these at home, you can get yourself some of these little growler cleaning tablets. They're super cheap. I'll be putting them in little smaller things. So you show up to the brewery with it clean, and then at the brewery, just spray some Star San in there. I'm trying to keep this one short and to the point. I don't want to lose people's attention on this. Some of my videos blather on and on and on and on. Not this one! All right, so there, get some contact there everywhere. Lovely. Now, for the gas, personally, I've got gas coming off my main tank that I can just use whenever I want, but a home user might want to use a little SoStream bottle. Super easy. A brewery might want to do it with a larger 5-pound tank. So I've got this one hot here right now. So then we're just going to pressurize our tank. And I got this set to, it's about 18 there right now, which is a little on the high side. So it would be best to have it hooked up to the house gas, the same pressure that the beer is at. Now, if you're a brewery, just start with one flavor, right? Just put, if I could say to people, go to such and such brewery and they got the lager on tap for going camping. Take it or leave it. That way a brewery, the only thing you need to do is buy 2 little adapters for your Sankey coupling and you're up and running. I can send people to you to just do exactly what I'm doing here right now. So they show up, pressurize the keg, then you just need a jumper cable, which this one's 2 feet here. So give that a little spritz. Lovely. It's hot, ready to go. So before we attach it to the keg though, let's talk about a spawning valve. So here's the blow tie 2 ones. Now all this stuff here, if you're a brewery or even a home user that wants to do this, I got kits on the site, super cheap, put together, called direct fill kits, and you can get them with or without the spawning valve, and with or without. There's a little configurator there. You get whatever you need, but it's all in a bundle to save money. If you're a brewery owner, we can talk about wholesale pricing, because listen, I make money by selling kegs and kits, and you sell the beer. So if I can get more locations for my customers to go to, they'll be more excited about buying portable beer solutions, and you'll sell more beer. I mean, right now, if someone's showing up asking to fill their corny keg and you send them out the door, you're leaving money on the table. And that's to say nothing about the amount of foam that comes off filling these glass growlers and having it all going over the side. And then you gotta babysit the thing, which you don't even need to do with this. So check this out, let's get to the point here. We got our spunding valve, and snap that on there. And you can show, it's just showing me there right now that there's exactly like 15 PSI in there. I mean, all these gauges are a little bit off, but if you're always using the same equipment, you'll get used to it, right? So then, just to be super sanitized, spray, 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 and here we go. Nothing's moved yet, because this keg has back pressure on it. So you see the line is filled up, so there's probably just a little bit of dribble, because the thing is, right now, this keg got delivered yesterday. It was shipped around a truck, and then it sat here warming up overnight. So this is worst case scenario. But that's the thing, when you're doing the back pressure filling, you don't have to worry about the foam, even if it's a little warmer. Okay, so we're gonna put the gas on here now. So we got a closed system, and then we can just ease off on the spunding valve. And there we go. Give that a little bit more pressure. Now the mistake I always make is I'm in a hurry. I'm going out camping, so I want to fill one of these up, and I get a little greedy and I start cranking up the pressure, which you can do if you got it all back pressurized, and yes, it will fill the keg faster. But don't forget to take it off before you go camping, because I've come back and way overcarbonated my keg, and it takes me about 3 or 4 days to get it back to normal. So that's cranking away right now. The keg's filling up quite fast. When the beer is cold, you can see a perfect line right on there telling you exactly how full the keg is. Now, maybe you don't want to babysit this. Maybe you got stuff to do. So you're in the brewery, you put this, you go into your cold room, go snap, snap, snap as fast as I just did. And if you got this just lying around a bucket, well then no problem. But if you don't want to sit there babysitting it, we've got these handy little auto shut-off things. Spring goes on the bottom. There we go. And there's a little ball there that floats up and stops it. So you can just snap that on there. Easy as that. Bend it whatever way so that it's level. It doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, it's just there. You'll do it that way. So then, and again, you just keep playing with this. But I could walk out now and go serve customers. Or, as a home user, I just go up and keep getting ready for loading up the car or whatever, and then I come back and boop, and that's it. I mean, that's it. Right now, we're getting 5 liters of the Rail Yard Pale Ale, ready to go camping. And this exact methodology could be used with a 10 liter or a 20 liter corny keg. But why not go the other way and go down to a bunch of pop bottles? You can put a different flavor in each one if you're in a brewery. Or if you're a home brewer, you can do the same situation from a corny keg to this. And if at any point I wanted to stop this, I simply could pull off either one of these jumpers. So then you give it a quick rinse, and off you go to the customer, or you go camping. Whatever. I mean, that's 3/4 full already. I should probably just let it go all the way to the top. But what I wanted to show you is the same thing with the pop bottle, so you can see exactly what's happening. First, I wanted to show you a keg because I wanted you to think in terms of volume. But now let's see how it actually works. So we got our pop bottle here. You can see, get the spray. I mean, let's see how fast we can do this. Sanitized. We pressurize it. See, instinctively I reach for my setup here. So then I pressurize the keg, and then, so I should mention normally I would typically put that on there, and I'd have a little adapter kicking around. Oh, by the way, this jumper, when you're done with it, just store it in the fridge. I just keep them stored in the door. That way you don't have to worry about the beer going sour. I mean, you probably want to clean it out every couple of days anyway. So then I can just snap on this I'm gonna do this with my left hand. I can snap that on there, and then, so normally when I do that, I got the gas attached to it. We're gonna do this in real time. There we go. So there, we've gotten rid of all the extra sanitizer, and we've cleaned our hose. So I mean, that's how easy cleanup can be. Depending if you use the auto stopper, in which case you'd have to just toss it off and throw it in the bucket. Have a little bucket of Star Sand kicking around. If you're a home user, just rinse it at one time. So there we go. I mean, you pull it on, you pull it off. There we go. Got our bottle pressurized. Put it back on the keg. Man, that pale ale smells good. I think we'll have to do a demo of drinking the beer too. So I just leave one of these around so that I'm not pushing my finger up in there. If you're doing it a lot, it starts to hurt. But in this case, we'll just push it to get rid of the sanitizer. And let's keep this all closed system. So you could do a bunch of these bottles ahead of time, right? I mean, at a brewery, I don't know, do you want to be filling pop bottles? I just put it on the gas. So that's another thing. I was like, why is it going down the side? So then we got our spunding valve here. Here, let's get the auto stopper off of there. I mean, as you can see, this is not complicated. I mean, here I am shaking around this warm beer and everything. If you had this in a cold fridge and you did, like if you crank the pressure right up and then take it off, you could fill a whole bunch of the 5 liters, a whole bunch of pop bottles ahead of time. So if you had a special, say I advertise on my site that a bunch of campers are gonna come out and visit your brewery on Friday at 6 o'clock on the way out to the campgrounds or whatever time. And you could have a bunch of pre-filled 5-liter kegs just sitting in the fridge there, and they could do a swap. They hand their 5-liter to you, and you hand them a full one. Out the door they go. Or pop bottles. I mean, I think this pop bottle is fantastic. So there we go. And you can see. So I mean, let's play around with this a little bit. Here, we'll crank that up. We'll give it the counter pressure. I mean, I'm doing this in real time. I don't necessarily know what's going to happen. If I'm going to experiment, I like to do it on camera because then I got content. I've decided in this new spring, I'm going to become an official YouTuber. So there's going to be tons of content like this coming out. We're going to be doing all kinds of experiments. So while we're watching this fill, that keg over there, that has a bladder inside of it. So what's in the fridge? Look, I'm almost done here already. Now I got this. This is at ridiculous levels. This is at ridiculous levels. And it's actually not that much foam, considering that I'm abusing it. Like, that's it. This is warm beer that was just shook around in the truck. So I just would put that in the fridge then, ready to go camping. I do this for my wife all the time because you know what? She says, go out and get me a beer. So and I'm out in the garage doing this kind of thing, and I'm going back and forth with a glass of beer. I said, why aren't I using my own product? And so I filled these pop bottles, and she can just sit there out of the fridge. And if she doesn't drink it all, it's not going to go bad because it's all closed system. Something else for you to think about. So really, I think that sums it up. I mean, we filled that keg, we filled this in, I mean, what was that? 20 seconds, 30 seconds? I don't know, it's fast. You use the auto stopper. I was being careless. I mean, it was just so easy and quick. So there we go. Off a 50-liter keg, either at home or in a brewery, you can fill off a whole bunch of extra kegs or pop bottles or whatever, store them in your fridge, and then drink it as you go. This is the cheapest way to get beer. And cleanup is, oh, a little dab of beer. Like, that's it. And then you would just store the jumper in the fridge. Boom. Done. So I'll go give this to my wife now. I'll be right back. So now we've seen how easy it is to come straight off a 50-liter CanKeg. Let's talk about it if you had a tap room. Here's, you know, Sean's tap room. I got my 3 taps here. So in order to do this, yes, you would have to have one of these new nuke taps. They come in black, they come in raw stainless. And the reason I use these nuke taps is because of this magic ability where you can just unscrew that and put this on. Ta-da, that easy. Now, these nuke taps are a direct competitor to Perlick, and they got less thermal mass, so it's less foaming, and they get this special little shuttle. I'll link to a video with Key blathering on about this. But anyway, top quality taps. So, change one of these taps for that, and this is part of the bundle. I mean, I'll sell the tap as cheap as possible, just to get a place for people to go and fill their kegs straight off the tap. You don't need to do this in every single, pick one flavor. You don't have to have a special keg. You can just change your tap the next time you clean out all your lines and replace it with one of these Nuka taps and just switch it back and forth on Friday nights when you know people are gonna be showing up. Like I said, start with one flavor. So as you can see in the footage that I'm gonna put on the side here, I've got this tap has a direct line going straight from the keg straight out of the tap, because I always use this for my direct filling, and then I use this for my daily pouring. That way I don't even have to switch back and forth. And then this one I usually have for, you know, an extra flavor, or lately I've been screwing around with all kinds of flow restriction lines and everything, but that's got nothing to do with this. So let's set it up and see how fast we can pour. So normally I use one of these little paintball canisters to serve all my kegs. I've done it for years and years now. If you want to see how many 50-liter kegs I've drained, that's how many. I stick the caps in the fridge there just to keep count. So yeah, if you just want to use a paintball canister and the regulator that comes with all of our kits, you're good to go. However, today we're going to abuse the system. Why? Because it's fun to do, especially on YouTube. Okay, I got the second bottle prepped here, and we cranked it up to 30 psi. I think we're at 32 there right now, so it's about double. So let's see what happens. If it's going fast, maybe I'll keep cranking it up as we fill, and I'll put the time on the screen here too. So here we go. Let's open it up. Oh, I'm gonna take the pressure off. I just made a mistake. The gauge that I'm using for this is not high enough. Okay, we got our fancy new digital one here now. It says we're sitting at 30.3 psi. Look at that. So now we got a super accurate readout. We'll move the tap here, open this up. It says 31. Dropping down to 27. The only thing about these digital ones is that they do shut off on their own. So sometimes the analog's easier for just doing this, but I'll let you decide that. So we're sitting there at 27. Let's open it even more. Let's crank this right up. Look at that. I mean, there's nothing for foam. 20, but that's still creeping up to 40 here now. Oh, gauge turned off. Oh. I mean, there's nothing for foam. So the higher pressure means less foam, it would seem. That was pretty fast. Oh, let's turn our gas down. I'll keep climbing and climbing. All right, so I'll put the time on the screen there. And just, I mean, that's incredible. Look at that. I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm happy enough with it. We're gonna do the 10 liter for Dwight. All right. You know what? I'm so happy with it. I'm gonna crank that and just let it keep going. So you guys in the breweries, you could be filling any size corny keg. We're gonna do a 10 here right now, but this could be a 20. You could rig this up so it's coming right off the bright tank if you wanted to. And this is how easy it's gonna be. This is how you can fill corny kegs in your brewery. All right, we're pressurizing the keg. That drops quite a bit when we do that. So we'll sanitize everything here. We wanna make sure we got 10 liters. This is probably gonna sit in the fridge for a while. So here we go, we got a closed transfer. We can take this off. So there we got our gauge at 0. I'll crank it up, handle the back pressure. The regulator's back up to around 30 there right now. Let's see what it is. It's 23 in the keg. So let's open up our faucet, start filling this puppy. And you know what, we'll use the auto shut off here just so you can see it in action. So this is why I use the pop bottles, because we can't see what's happening. But I can see in the gauge there. So we're saying about 30 there, so I should be able to open that more. You gotta listen to see if it's dying down on you. So we'll just let that go. You can see the condensation right there, so you know how much of the keg is full. There's the beer from earlier too. So, I mean, this beer is ready to go camping. We got 3 kegs full, ready to go. Here's the bag. Compressing. Comes up there, and it's going through the fast nozzle. We're trying to film when this keg gets all filmed up. Do you want to come in and look? The beer's going to come out of that nozzle. Gus came in for a little visit. You want to say hi to the camera? All right. Yeah, we're waiting for the exciting moment. You can see the condensation right there.
Why are you waiting?
We're waiting to see how long it takes to fill this keg. And it's going to go through there, and the beer's going to come up here, and it's going to go boom and stop.
But nothing's plugged into that.
Nothing's plugged in. It's coming through here, out of this keg in here.
This keg?
Yeah, that keg right there. Coming out of there. Oh, we're getting close to the time. I gotta make sure I get it on camera. Pretty exciting, eh? Any second now. Any second. Oh, there it goes. And it stopped on its own. That's it. Yay! So, there you go. We filled what? 10, 15, 19 liters, almost 20 liters of beer, which is the same as this. As easy as that. Straight off the keg, into the pop bottles, different speeds, fancy kegs. Whatever way you want to do it, give me a contact, info@cankeg.com. And if you're a brewery, we can work out a special deal. If you want to be doing this in bulk with lots of customers, and I'll send them to you. Maybe we could do a little co-promotion thing. For you campers out here, do it yourself. You just saw how to do it. Whatever keg size fits you. And you know, my little quest to pay less, I think going straight off of 50 into a bunch of pop bottles is going to be the way, but we'll do the math on that in a different episode. All right. So thanks for sticking around. I'm going to put a code on the screen for you beer nerds who actually stay to the very end, and keep the questions coming, and I'll see you next time.